well, welcome today to our daily Zoom call with WBRx. And those of you that are just tuning in, let me look at the group that we have, participants. Good deal. And I know that we've got some more that are tuning in as well. And guys, we try to make these Zoom calls appropriate for the people that we have on. I think that Monday, Sean and I just kind of did a collaborative bit of information and training that we actually have repurposed, and a couple of people have already got the recording. But sometimes, these Zoom calls need us, and sometimes we need the Zoom calls. It just depends upon what's going on. Yesterday, we had a fantastic Q&A session with Dr. Jasani. On each one of these calls, what we try to make a point of doing, and it's really for everybody's education, and it's informative, is just have either a live call with Dr. Jasani, Dr. Patel, and soon we'll have Dr. Poonsalan that will be joining us as well. And we've got some other new participants that are a gentleman that just joined today, I believe is jumping on, JP, who is a surgeon. So there's a lot of new activity and people that have a lot of information who genuinely love and believe in the benefits associated with the medical grade CBD. And that's really the emphasis behind the wellness-based consumables that we offer today. What has taken place really within the last 60 days, we have been pre-launching the meter dose inhaler that we have. And obviously everybody here knows the traction that's been getting, and that has been segued with the relationship we have with Greenway DNA that allows people to get a clear picture of the DNA as it relates to how much CBD or THC their body may need to offset some of the individual challenges that they have. But what I'm going to do to kind of kick things off is just to continue to move forward with our educational piece. So I'm going to share my screen, and then I'm going to just do a replay of a video that Dr. Jasani did. Many of you have seen it. If you haven't seen it, then you'll be able to get a picture of what's taking place here. So with that, I'm going to replay this video, and then we'll come on and we'll have a chance to hear a little bit from everybody and then go through some logistical stuff. So with that, I'm going to replay this. Hold on a second. Okay. Go back to the beginning.
Appreciate it. Let me just get my thing set here. There are two things that I wanted to highlight on. One is the inhaler that I think is an amazing product. We initially had reviewed this a few weeks ago, and then we dove in really deep with the company, and it makes sense on a multitude of levels. One thing we have to understand is these are lipid-based compounds. CBD and THC ingested orally, very little is absorbed. This is why dosing is a big problem globally. Nobody knows how to dose. Nobody knows what the right dose is. Everyone's endocannabinoid system is different. And if you imagine, we are a water-based species. So when you absorb something, water-based molecules are absorbed very quickly. Fat-based are not. That's why they're emulsified and put in nanoparticles, because only about 15-20% of what you're taking in is actually really absorbed. And out of that, much of it goes straight to the liver, something called first-pass metabolism, and is broken down. So what you're really getting on your endocannabinoid receptors is not equal to the dose that you are taking orally. And that is a known fact. People's body size, habitus, everything comes into play, and that's where we start low and work our way up. It's a rudimentary way to do it, but unfortunately, that is the only way. When you start to see these products, like the meter dose inhaler, it completely bypasses first-pass metabolism through the liver, and it completely bypasses the effects where you're trying to absorb a lipid-based compound. You only get 20% in it. The reason is when you inhale, this is no different than albuterol for asthma. This product is actually the very same MDI with the pharmaceutical industry, who has worked with this company hand in hand for CBD. So this MDI is not something built just for CBD. This is built for asthma and for the medicinal side in the pharmaceutical industry. And they have now, and it is FDA approved, and it has a number, and it is now moved into the CBD space with this company through the help of pharmaceutical industry and the pharmaceutical scientists who sit with this company. And when you take something in through an inhaler, it goes down, if it is in the right concentration, the right propellant, and the right formulation, it actually goes down to the alveoli, which are the sacs where there's capillary and blood exchange with the oxygen and the lung. That is exactly where carbon dioxide is pushed out from your blood, and oxygen is brought in, loaded onto your red blood cells, and shipped out to the rest of your body. It is in these alveoli, these sacs that are in our lung. It is a tremendous amount of surface area where the gas exchange for this occurs. And that is critical, because if you inhale an inhaler correctly, this MDI, and get it in deep enough, we'll have videos on how to just do an inhaler. People think it's easy, and it takes a little bit to just watch it to understand. But once you get it in there, that CBD, that dose that you take in that inhaler, all goes in to the blood supply and immediately up to the receptor. So literally within minutes, you will feel the effects of the CBD, and it is night and day. You will feel it, and it can last up to 2 to 3 hours. And there's very little wastage. This product is not broken down by the liver, because blood supply that is exchanged in the lungs is not going to the liver first. It is disseminated diffusely through the body, and it goes up to the brain. Gut metabolism is vastly different. All blood supply flows from the gut, nutrients and everything straight to the liver first. That is why they tell you the oral oils try to keep under your tongue, trying to bypass that first pass metabolism. But still, it's a lipid-based compound, very hard to absorb. This is a patented technology, including the recipe on the CBD, because it is very important, the safety and quality of this product. This company has values very similar to Wellness Biosciences, where they're not just out to push a product quickly on the market. They've spent years researching this, and the quality and the safety and the efficacy takes precedent. To have pharmaceutical industry working with them hand to hand with their scientists, it's quite a reputation. And then to source the products from a USDA type of company that is USDA certified, now has a division just doing CBD and hemp cultivation, tracking it, testing it, taking it to their own GMP certified facilities, putting out CBD isolate, and then getting it to the company. That means that's all under one roof, so the quality can be managed. And these are companies that are doing this in the pharmaceutical space already. And they have FDA and USDA certification, and they have GMP certified facilities for other products. And they've now got a division just doing seed to shelf CBD products like this. And what they will do is, and the reason I bring this up is, the source of the product is important. Just like in Wellness Bioscience, we go and we look for, where is our hemp coming from? Who's processing it? Are we third-party lab testing it? No different with the MDI. We have to follow this thing all the way back to the seed and make sure the quality is appropriate every step of the way. And these companies carry a high level of credibility, and they all continue to do the same quality checks every step of the way. So once that CBD isolate leaves, then this company uses the same propellants that asthma inhalers use. It is FDA approved. Put it in the MDI, there is no other things added. So the safety and the quality is very important. And then when you see the dosing of this, it is, and the slide's coming up now, it's so quick to act that people are getting near 99% bioavailability of this product. There's very little wastage. The cost effectiveness to the consumer is immense, and the efficacy is immense because it works immediately. You would take it right, you would feel it, and you'd feel it for 2 to 3 hours or longer. Everyone's different based on numerous variables. That is why there is no other product, and you will see there's no other inhalers of this quality that are out there in the market anywhere. I mean, if there are one or two, they're very small, and you have to be very careful on all of the products that are sitting in their canisters. You don't know what propellants they're using. You don't know where their CBD is sourced from. It is very important. We've had to clear up each of this every step of the way before we got on board. And this is quite an amazing product. And I think you'll hear about a few people who have used it. And once we get this out, you will see the difference. And your customers will see the difference. And in the end, it will drive value and it'll drive people feeling better. And that's the reason they'll come back. It has no toxins. It has, and just as the slide said, it has nothing else in there. It is a completely pure product, and it is 100% bioavailable. And that is exactly why it gets to those receptors within seconds and why you feel it, as opposed to ingesting something and waiting 20, 30 minutes or longer. Accurate dosing, and this is kind of where we'll show you, and we'll have other videos and things on how to use the inhaler. Fairly simple, but I think it'll speak for itself once people start to get their hands on it and see it and use it. Ingredients, as the slides coming up, are very important. You shouldn't feel this barely in your lungs. You shouldn't have any cough. It should be seamless, and it should be very similar to the FDA-approved meter dose inhalers we use for asthma. And it is not that easy to get CBD or CBN or CBG in the correct aerosolized form. That takes a lot of technology and equipment with the help of biopharma and their pharmaceutical scientists to create a product like this. Next slide. Okay, and I just wanted to touch on one last thing. There was another product that we have started to look at called a Greenway DNA test for cannabis dosing. Dosing is very difficult. We all have difficulty with this. There's no data to guide us. You start low, you work your way up. But there are 3 or 4 companies out there that have been doing this, and we've been researching this. And there is a company that we are talking to now called Greenway DNA with a lot of scientists who are doing this in a very evidence-based way. What they're doing is they're quickly looking at how can we look at the DNA through an algorithm that they have through looking at something called SNPs, single nucleotide polymorphisms. There's about 4 million in our human genome, and they're associated with certain traits. Once they take your DNA from a cheek swab, they will run this genome panel to see which SNPs you have associated with which traits which cannabis is used for, such as anxiety, psychoses, sleep, pain. Then they will put this to an algorithm, and it will give them data based on a database they have that looks at the world's peer-reviewed data on what are these traits, what are the SNPs, and what is the evidence we have for it. And there is a lot of data on this, but they will classify it based on ranking of what is the highest data, based on human trials versus observational versus animal. They'll rate it, they'll put it through their algorithm, they'll run the DNA, find the SNPs, and then they will come out with a report that actually is customized to you, the individual. And that report doesn't change. You can use that test, you do that test once, and it'll give you guidelines on what is the best method of consumption for you based on your DNA. What is the way your bioavailability works? How about what is the concentration of THC to CBD that you may need for the specific ailments that you're looking for? It guides you on the strains you can look for if they say you need a 3 to 4 to 1 CBD to THC ratio. And then they'll tell you what terpene profile that may help you based on a preliminary survey that they do, kind of looking and seeing what ailments you're using this for. It's quite interesting. Now, I'll tell you, there is no data with dosing, even these DNA tests. It's going to take time. There's 3 companies doing this, and they're doing it in very sophisticated scientific ways. That database is constantly updated, and they will continue to push the data for everyone so this can start to add to the science. But in the meantime, it gives you a way to start for dosing. And I think the test kit is extremely interesting and would be an extremely high value add to people and customers, especially where the alternative is just shooting in the dark and not knowing. So this is something we'll get more information out on, but it's something that I just wanted to put on your radar.
Okay, so you guys can see that this was a video that we had done earlier. I think it was probably somewhere around the early part of March while we were still in the due diligence phase and coming through all that was required. We have since inked our agreement with Greenway, and we certainly have those available now via our website. And I would recommend, Sean and I have both done our test. I've already got the results of mine. A few of you I've sent my results so you can see the extent and the length of the way the testing is done. The results, it's way above, frankly, my complete understanding of what it is. I mean, but I think that you'll certainly benefit from it. So I would recommend it. I really would. We certainly, just provide it. It's a provision for you guys at a discount from what the DNA test typically is, but it's a one-time test that you need. And then from that point, you really don't have to, you just have as a point of reference. Before I turn the call over to my partner, Sean, to kind of walk through just some basic, information from everybody that we have on the call, updating each other on what we have taking place in the market and things of that nature. I wanted to encourage you all to join our group Facebook, our Facebook group. One of the things that we're starting to see the needle move a little bit is our social media campaign. We've had various types of things that have been sent from that Facebook group, from our Wellness Biosciences Facebook group. And we've been getting a lot of traction now because different people are taking that information, they're commenting and they're liking, and then they're sharing it with people in their Facebook group. So now, when we send out a new post, we're getting anywhere between 100 to, somewhere in the ballpark of 170, views. And now the likes are starting to add up. So that can be a great tool for you guys on the brand partner side, because you can aggregate the people that you have in your Facebook group, and you can repurpose that information directly back to them, and it creates activity. Another thing that I would recommend is that you utilize LinkedIn. Some of you, I was speaking with, I believe it was Ryan. Ryan, I don't think he's on the call today. I was speaking with Ryan, and Ryan has become pretty proficient on LinkedIn. So we certainly post, we put posts from WBRx on LinkedIn. We use Instagram. So I would just recommend that you guys use social media as a means of being able to access information. Certainly not a mainstay. It's not going to replace sitting down with people after you've tried the product and giving samples and bringing them to information that you receive here on a Zoom call, three-way call. Of course, that's the optimum, but it certainly continues to keep information in front of the people within your sphere of influence and adds tremendous value. So with that, folks that are here as we conclude the month, and they've got activity and things going on, and we just want to offer them the encouragement, also hear from them and see what's going on. So I'll turn the call over to you. Can't hear you.
The dead-gum mute button every time. Just a great job. Appreciate you replaying the video of Dr. Jasani. I could listen to it 100 times, and I swear I gather something new literally every single time. So it's great that we're getting this data and we're refurbishing it, and people can use it, to sit down in a one-on-one or invite somebody on a phone call, a text message. I mean, it's so easy to access this information, this data. I know people like Michael are even using it to, share with their loved ones, and it's just been a great resource. So great job there. First, I just go person by person as I see the tiles on my screen. And I know Dr. JP Nesek just joined us today or yesterday, and pardon me, got everything concluded today. So Dr. Nesek, if you're able to hop on the call, we just love to get to know you a little bit. We know you're a surgeon and you're in the wellness field, but I really, to be honest with you, I don't know a whole lot beyond that. If you don't mind sharing your background, sir, and just a little bit about the business model that you foresee. And then obviously we'd love to hear any great feedback that you have with regard to the products that you've had the opportunity to try at this point. So are you available to unmute and share with us, Dr. Nesek?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Well, hello to everybody. Thank you so much. I think it's an exciting start to something that I've been interested in for many years is wellness, health, and beauty, of course. We all want to look better, feel better, and not look our age, especially in this millennium. So my background is I'm a general surgeon that was trained and went to medical school outside of the US. So I've been doing what's called here in the United States co-surgeries. I provide surgical services to general surgeons, plastic surgeons, orthopedics. So I have a large repertoire of surgical procedures. And in 2012, I opened a med spa with my beautiful wife because her friends wanted to stay more youthful looking. We've been doing Botox fillers, learning about those products and giving them in the sense that they then help for the certain period of time in the beauty aspects. But as we grow older, I've learned also that there's a health aspect of dullness and sometimes chronic pain or chronic anxiety that we either receive from our work or from our families or for the health reasons that we have. And CBD has been coming on the market. As we know, recently it has blossomed, and some states have legalized even the THC market. Here in Texas, we haven't yet, but the CBD is an option. But receiving it through the oral and the first pass system, you only receive 20-25% of what you really ingest. So you're paying a lot of money for really only getting 25% of the benefit. In these aerosol, you're getting 98-99% of the product at 100-meter doses. So you're getting exactly what you buy into, you pay for, and it's FDA approved. I don't think there's anything much more to say than that as far as the validity, the effectiveness, and the cost per ratio aspect of this product. So I'm glad to be part of this.
Well, thank you, doctor, and very great points. Very smart woman to marry someone that can start a business to keep her looking young. So I can't wait to meet your wife. But in addition, I echo your sentiment that it's a great product. And it's a great time. And just so you know, I'm sure you've spent some time with Barry and you understand who we are philosophically. But one of the reasons that we named our company Wellness Biosciences and not, XYZ CBD company is because Barry and I are firm believers in wellness, diet, exercise, emotional, spiritual peace. And obviously, CBD, good quality CBD is a huge part of that regimen, but it is a regimen. It is a wellness-based regimen. So thank you for sharing today. And we're excited to have you on the team. And we look forward to helping you be successful in our arena any way that we possibly can. So I thank you for your time. So now I'll turn the call over to Michael Vandiver. Michael, I know you've got a lot of exciting stuff going on. Matter of fact, someone in your organization today had a windfall, which will ultimately affect you as well as our business model. So why don't you share with us some of the exciting stuff you've got going on, Michael?
Thank you, Sean. Yeah, the network marketing business model is a very attractive model for me because, I've been doing my work and reaching out, but people that are involved in my organization are doing the same thing. And so we all benefit from it. And I just love that part of it, helping each other and just being, having Chance and Gail and Mitchell and all the other brand partners available to work together. It's very synergistic, and I love that part of it. And but the most, what I'm really trying to get across is to people that I talk to on a daily basis is just tell them my story. Just tell them what CBD has done for me since I started consuming it. And I believe that I'm a more productive person. I sleep better. I'm more patient with my children and my wife and others that drive me nuts. People don't drive me nuts like they used to. I can pretty much handle almost all situations without without getting too worked up about it, keep my blood pressure down. So the more I consume, the gel caplet daily, the inhaler at least twice a day, if I know that I'm going to get, have something I have to do that I'm not really looking forward to, I want to get focused on it, the inhaler is great for swallowing the frog, so to speak. So I would just, I'm like I said before, I feel very privileged to be a part of this, to be in the right place at the right time for such a time as this. And I'll kick it back to you.
Awesome, Michael. Thanks for sharing. Great job being a leader and hosting these calls on your own. And we're happy to do it too. But it's just the tree, if you will, grows. One branch, you get one tree, right? If you have multiple branches, you get a significantly bigger tree, a lot more shade, so to speak. And so you guys diversifying and holding your own group meetings and doing the things you're doing is exactly how you want to build this business. So great job. I commend you. Next, I'll kick it over to Art Martin. And then last but not least, I'll go to Mitchell Holzer and then kick it back over to my partner, Barry. But Art, what would you like to share with us today?
Hey, Sean, can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear, brother.
All right, thank you. Just a couple of quick thoughts. Michael kind of made me think about something about one of the benefits that I've never shared before. And it focuses on the mental clarity, the mental focus that I have noticed since I've been consuming the gel cap and the inhaler. But I have found that being in the moment, it has become and is becoming easier for me with so many different thoughts and things going on around me. I've really found that my productivity has gone way up, and that it's easier to focus on, what's happening now, what's the next thing I need to do, things like that. And I just haven't noticed it as much until Michael said that just a few minutes ago. The second thought is just noticing the impact of some people I've been talking to, and I'm seeing them move along our marketing process, the 6-step marketing plan, and seeing some fruits from that effort. Today, Barry and I had a call with a gentleman that owns 2 franchises, CBD franchises in Houston's on the board of a 22 co-op group of stores here in Houston. And he's also had a lot of experience working with the corporate office for this franchise. And he actually joined yesterday, and we'll be buying his 40-pack by the end of the week, hopefully tomorrow, so he can do the 40-pack, if not on Friday, for whatever opportunity we present for that month in May. And he's just got a whole network of people that opens up this business to, as well as he's already got his corporate office to create, for lack of a better word, a SKU number for our product. And if another franchise types it in, a CBD inhaler in this particular company, ours is the only product that comes up for purchase. And I know Barry is going to certainly support my friend in getting that franchise involved in a way that makes sense. But it just puts us in a unique position, and I'm very excited to watch that grow and see the benefits it's going to create for my friend and all the people who will have an opportunity to try our inhaler. And then the last thing was associated with that is I'm really excited to partner with Michael on a wellness clinic we're going to make a joint call on today. And I went to their website, and I said something before the call that this wellness clinic and their mission, I was reading, what they're after and what they want to do. on the surface, it looks like just a perfect marriage for their business. And I'm really looking forward to that tomorrow and see how that discussion evolves. So with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Sean.
That's exciting, Art. Good stuff, man. That's, I know you've got somewhere in the ballpark of 8,000 LinkedIn contacts, which I know is a huge resource. And I know you guys are kind of out in the field the best you can be, meeting and greeting and talking to folks and bringing folks on board. So I commend you in being a multifaceted business. I mean, you want to use your warm contacts. You want to be opportunistic when you see a place that has an aligned and similar philosophy. So great job, guys. Keep it up. Last but not least, I'll kick it over to Mitchell Holzer. Mitchell has been, in and out of the office, even during some of this social distancing stuff, because he's just got an exciting foothold in a unique space himself, and there's a lot of good stuff going on. So Mitchell, why don't you come on, if you're able, unmute your phone and share what's been going on with you. Share that with us.
All right. Can you hear me, Sean?
Good to go. Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, well, thanks for the opportunity to share. First of all, just wanted to commend both Art and Michael for being an inspiration for the group. I think you guys have one heck of a testimony that you're developing there with what the product is doing for you. And so I know I'm inspired by that each time I get to listen to you guys. So it's great being in business with folks that are open to share those things. So thank you for what both you guys are doing. And I know that Gail has got a lot of great feedback from you. So I'm excited about what she has going with the couple people that she's talking to, and then also Ruben in the group. I know he has a big meeting. I was talking to him yesterday. He was pretty excited about the company that you guys are going to meet with the owner. I know Barry is, and Ruben on Saturday, and so that's pretty exciting. But for me, I'm keeping with the 1-2 punch. I say the 1-2 punch is the foundation is the gel cap, and then also the other kind of shorter term effect is the inhaler. And so I love the video that came out with Dr. Patel. I've been sending that out to a ton of people here. I've probably sent it out to about 15 or 20 people over the last couple of days as far as the benefits and how to use it. So getting a lot of good feedback from that. And on a higher level, we've mentioned it before a little bit, trying to round up. There's a pretty big group. They're looking to go public. They're in the CBD space and have a number of different dispensaries, contacts with professional leagues that they're trying to coordinate. So it's got a lot of moving parts, but I believe it will be fruitful. Just following up with them today on one of their contacts that they have that owns one of the largest magazines in the CBD space. And the owner of that has many different locations in the Western region of the United States. So we've sent him out a sample, as you guys know, Sean, and so he should be getting that today or tomorrow, and wants to utilize the product there before making his order. So we're excited about that. I'm optimistic that that's going to be a great response, and he's going to be moving forward with a pretty good size order and moving that ball down the chain. But in the meantime, I've stopped after the call. I'm actually got an appointment with a owner of a CBD store here in Sugar Land. So there's two of them that I've been working with. So I got some samples. The owner bought some samples there on Monday. And so he's going to be using that. He has several doctor contacts, kind of teed it up that not only could he use it there at his store, but also that he has, there's a profit sharing potential with some of the doctors that he knows. So he got several of the units on Monday and purchased those from me. And then he's going to get that out into some doctors' hands. So I'm pretty excited about that to see where that heads. And then there's another store that is pretty close to my house here, where the owner there, he has 5 stores. And so we're looking at getting some samples to him today. He's going to sample the product himself and get that out to some of his managers and get some feedback. So, just continue to plant the seeds where I can. Made several calls yesterday. There's a couple of real estate brokers. One's in California that I've done some business with before. He's got several contacts in that space in California and Colorado. So we had sent him some information yesterday. He's called the owner of that company. So just networking where I can, planting the seeds. And I'm looking that there's going to be a lot of things sprouting here in just the next couple of days and weeks ahead. So with that, I'll turn it back to you, Sean.
Great job, Mitchell. And man, so Barry and I we're talking about you just yesterday. So excited about all the good stuff you've got going on and the fascinating group that you seem to be attracting. It's there's a lot of huge potential. I mean, no one has a crystal ball, and you never know exactly what's going to happen. But you are certainly laying the foundation and planting the seeds to have what would appear to be a great harvest. So keep your foot on the gas, man, and keep doing what you're doing. It's exciting. It could literally change, not only the face of your financial situation, not that you're not in a great financial situation now, but I mean, when you start making mailbox money to the tune of what you're talking about, it just gets silly. And people like yourself and Michael and Art and Dr. Nezik and a number of others, literally can change the face of our entire company. So we appreciate what you're doing. We are here to pour gasoline on your fire in any way that we can and support you. And just commend you on all your great work. So with that, Barry, before I kick it back over to you, I just want to tell everyone that, right now, people are starting to kind of come out of this fog. They're starting to wake up. The grocery stores are getting a little busier and the out and about, folks they're wanting to enjoy the sunshine, and they're wanting to get involved in something, and they're wanting to, to put this entire 4 to 6 weeks behind them and do something great. And now is the time to convey that message to people. Tell them, don't be afraid. If they don't want to end up in the same position 6-8 weeks from now that they've experienced 6-8 weeks in the past, something's got to change. And so be the beacon of light, be encouraging, but be bold and ask them what they want to accomplish. Ask them what greatness means to them. And it may or may not be through our opportunity that they find their own greatness, but why not start here as a part of their due diligence process? It changed my life. When I met Barry Koshu back in 2002, I never thought I would be a top producer for a $400 million company. I never thought I would drive not one, but two $80,000 cars paid for by the company, travel the world, become dearest friends with my business partner and our families, much bigger than just he and I, our relationship, but our families, have grown up together, and it's just a unique experience that I wish I could invite everyone on. I wish I could get everyone to get out of their own way and just do the due diligence to understand that this could be their moment of greatness. What we have and what we're doing could invite them on a journey that radically changes their life. And I only know that because I experienced it. I'm experiencing it every day. My partner experienced it and has experienced it. One of the things that you always look for greatness of leadership, when somebody does something once, that's fine. Hey, you had a great round of golf, or, you did this one great thing. When you can sustain greatness in a business model for almost 3 decades. Sorry to date you there, partner, but when you're coming up on 30 years and $500 million in sales in an industry, you have achieved something. You are a great leader, at least in that arena, if not in all areas of your life. And so I'll kick it back over to Barry, but I want you guys all to know from me to you that the reason I'm excited about what we're doing every single day is because Barry's got a track record that proves he knows what he's been capable of doing in the past. He's got a lot of wind in his sails, a lot of gas in his engine, so to speak. And so we're just grinding every single day. And we believe that WBRx is going to be a global force to be reckoned with, to the tune of $1 billion company. And it's these leaders, it's this foundation that's building that. Because we're not a $1 billion company today, guys. I don't need to tell you that, but I want to remind you, it is not about who and what we are today. It's about where we're going collectively. There's an old, I don't know if it's a Chinese proverb or what, but it says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And so that's what we're doing. We're not trying to go fast. We definitely aren't dragging our feet, but we're not trying to be a flash in the pan or a company that was here one day and gone the next. We want to go far, and we're going to go far together. So please know that we appreciate everything you guys do every single day. And so with that, Barry, I'll kick it back over to you, and appreciate all you're doing every day to lead this company, brother.
Appreciate you, brother. Great job as always. And, you know, it is really, there's a lot of people to be commended for what has taken place in the months of March and now as we conclude April. I have to tell you that the leadership really started to emerge in our company. We started to see those people that really were on board and really, you know, wanting to do all that they could to take advantage of the opportunities, and the results kind of speak for themselves. And we also, you know, have a whole new group of people that we're now engaging with and working with as a result of the efforts that are made. And there's a lot of people to, you know, sit back and say, you know, what a phenomenal job. And I'm just excited, genuinely excited about all that's taking place, obviously, with Ryan Rennick, that group of people up in the Dallas market. And we've got some new ones that are now, you know, that we're going to be bringing on again in the month of May, which is fantastic. That group just continues to mushroom and get bigger and bigger. And, you know, Ryan focused on bringing on new lines, which is really admirable. And then, you know, we've got the people that we've been working with for a minute. You know, obviously Mitchell has got a phenomenal group of people that I think, you know, through Ruben and Gail and that whole group of people and Jill, that's going to really start to take a different direction as we start to open up, as people are able to get out and start doing meetings with us here at the office, Sean. And, you know, you can start to see, I think that there's a little bit of a breath of fresh air in people's minds about what's going to be taking place in the weeks to come. And of course, you know, we're all going to, you know, maintain, you know, the recommendations that are asked of us, and we're going to be safe, but we're all excited about being able to get together, see each other. You know, as I've been meeting people here at the office, you know, I just have maintained that because it's my personal decision, and you know, I'm certainly keep guidelines, but in the process of doing it, it's always been amazing to me how excited people are to actually get out and about and meet and talk with people, maybe that are not as receptive to do in other spots. But here we've got some phenomenal things going on, guys. In a short period of time, we believe that WBRx is going to not only have significant traction, but as Sean said, as we start to move into the months of June, July, and August, I think this summer is going to be totally different than other summers in the past, because there's an awakening, and I think that there's an urgency and an excitement about people getting together and being able to start getting active in their business career, starting to get active, you know, going out and doing the things that they've really been missing for the last 60 days and more. And we are excited about it. I think we do have our scheduled event coming up on June the 13th. It looks more and more to me like that's going to happen. You know, just as I look at the scaled roadmap and the landscape of what's taking place, I think we're going to be able to do that. So you guys, you know, make it a point to put that in your calendars. As we get closer and closer, we can then become more familiar with the exacts on that. But I think it's there. I think it's going to happen. And guys, you know, just remember one thing. As you conclude the month of April, some of you have some business that's going to be transacting as we conclude the month, and we congratulate you for that. We're going to be making some modifications and some changes, as we've said, with respect to the cost of the pre-launch on the MDIs. That's natural, but there's still going to be ample opportunity, okay? So we just want you to take advantage of every opportunity that you possibly can to give people the information, let them know what's taking place, and bring them to these Zoom calls. So the leadership that Sean displays and you guys display, our medical professionals, it becomes something that everyone is aware of. We've got some phenomenal new growth, and we're excited about that. But guys, we're just getting started. I assure you, this business model will not look the same in 90 days, much less a year. But 90 days from now, you're not going to recognize. I promise you, 90 days ago, it's hard to even remember what it was like 90 days ago. You know, it wasn't 90 days ago. It was the end of, you know, it was the end of January, right? Where March, it was beginning of the year. And look at us today, and look at all that we've gone through. And we're doing this with a sense of enthusiasm, excitement, and new growth. So we're excited, guys. We've got brand new MDIs hitting our warehouse in preparation for the new incentives that we're going to be bringing out in the month of May. We're pretty jacked up about that. You're going to take advantage of it, and there's going to be people that we're going to pay a lot of money as we start moving forward. So anyway, guys, we're done for today. Tomorrow, I've got a few calls out and a few texts out with our folks that still is going to with Dr. Patel, I believe, is going to try to be here live tomorrow to do a little bit of Q&A and walk through the information. So let your folks know tomorrow would be a great opportunity if they have questions, thoughts, or ideas to attend the Zoom call. This is where you can really get questions answered, and you can get a lot, you can get up to speed and up to date on anything that you have going on. This is a phenomenal time to do it. So with that, guys, we're finished. Have a great day, and we will talk to you tomorrow here at 3 o'clock. God bless. Bye-bye.